Hey everybody, welcome back to the HoloNet Marauders podcast. I'm AJ, joined here by my bomb-bad, kale-faced pirates.
Kale-faced pirates. All right.
Pirate
I'll accept
Kings.
I'll accept it. Pirate Kings. Wow.
Jamie, Matt, and Jack. And we are joined here by our good friend Hannah from the Ray side. How's it going, Hannah?
G'day there. Great to be here. I'm so excited to talk to you all. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of banter, a lot of good times tonight. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah.
The best times. Are you kidding?
We're talking about Mando, not Bad Batch, so we're gonna have a good time.
This one's a good time.
No trauma here.
This one was fun. Although that might come up at some point, but who knows?
We're gonna try not to.
We'll try.
We're gonna try.
We'll try not to cry, but
yeah,
no guarantee.
We've been in mourning since, but yeah, Hannah, it's been a while since we talked to you last. You've been doing your thing over your channel, the Ray side, killing it over there.
Thank you.
So it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's so good to be. I don't even remember the last discussion we had. Maybe like trivia, like 2 years ago on a complete other podcast. I think it was
trivia with Chad. I believe
years ago. Yeah, Chad. When was it in the chat? But yeah, it's always a good time. It's always a good time to be here. And since then, I have a whole other channel now, which is crazy. But life is good. And I saw you guys at Celebration though, which was like almost a year ago now.
Yeah,
which was nuts. Like accidentally too. We were all standing outside. Actually, yeah, I think it was just you, Jamie, and AJ. I think it was just you two. Maybe you there?
No,
I always
Disneyland.
miss everything cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was, by the time I was around, you weren't around, and I was like, damn it.
Every time we mention a celebration story, I feel like I see Jack's soul leave his body because he didn't go. I feel so bad.
We're getting
time.
Jack to celebration
next
time. I promise.
Yeah, do it. But
for sure.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was so random. But that's simultaneously the best and worst memories for me because it was the best time because it was insane. It was celebration, but also I was the most sick and ill I have ever been in my life on that trip. It was so bad. With the jet lag, and I got a really bad cold, which wasn't COVID, and wild stuff. But anyway,
what happens when you go to California?
Apparently, yeah.
California thing. Oh, that's so good.
But Hannah, how have you been liking Mando season 3 so far?
Yeah. It has been such a ride. I've been really enjoying it. I'm one of those people that with season 1 and 2 of Mando being very episodic, a lot of people liked that and vibed with that, where it's like, yep, we're on this planet for this episode and move on next. But personally, I didn't like that kind of flow of how a TV show would go. So this season, I'm finding to be a lot more linear, and the previous episode directly links to next, and I really, really love that. So I'm having a great time. I've got minimal complaints of the season so far. I really am loving it.
Yeah, it's weird because I totally agree with you. I loved season 2.
Same.
And then we've said it a million times on the show now that it was kind of a soft opening for the other shows for Ahsoka.
Yeah, it was a backdoor pilot machine.
Backdoor pilot, soft opening, whatever.
A lot of work. Whatever you want to say. But it was. I mean, basically every episode was introducing new characters for new shows or whatever. So, but
which maybe this season is too in a way. We don't know, but
maybe.
I love that there's an A and a B plot going on, and maybe even a C plot. But there's multiple things going on. It's not just following Mando. It's very wide open. Maybe some people don't like that as much, but
I always like what you said, AJ, was one of your complaints about season 1 was that it only followed the Mandalorian and it didn't have it didn't cut away to anything else. And I totally agree with that. For me, Star Wars, it's we have, Luke's adventure, but then we cut back to Darth Vader every once in a while and we see what he's up to. Where's the Death Star? What's going on over there? And then we cut back. There's always multiple things going on, and Mando season 1 didn't really do that. So
it makes sense in hindsight, though, because they're building Din Djarin, so we can know
else
him.
Are you going to cut to?
Yeah,
it's really funny that this is still the same writing team and the same directing team for the most part, and showrunners since season 1, and yet season 3 could not feel more different pacing wise. I too am really enjoying they're trying new things. They're not afraid to just be stuck in a formula, because that would just mean that we were stuck in a rut. and I don't want that kind of just like forced rhythm of everything. I like am so excited to just not have any idea what's going on or any expectations for what the next episode could bring. Like after this episode, I have no idea what's going on, and I could not be more excited for next week.
Yeah.
3 more episodes.
I just have to say, oh my god, Jack, you have to do like audiobooks, brother. You have the best speaking voice. I've spoken to so many people virtually. Damn, that is the coolest voice I've ever. You should read Plagueis. Imagine your voice reading Plagueis. Oh my god.
That'd be nice.
You ever heard of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Yeah.
Oh no, you got him doing voice.
We agreed
How
before the
smooth is
stream.
that?
No voices this week to save your voice. You don't feel well, okay? Settle
Screw my
down.
voice.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That's very much appreciated. I totally
Settle
want to do
Oh,
audiobooks.
man.
He does have a great voice,
Anyway.
though.
I do agree, though.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Right?
you.
We're all thinking it. We're all thinking it. Yeah. were we
So
saying?
chapter 21, The Pirate, which I feel like is just a weird title for this episode. Like obviously the big bad of the episode was Gorian Shard, the pirate. But why most of these titles have had like multiple meanings? Like the Foundling, you could say it was Grogu in the flashback, or it was Bo-Katan, because she's kind of a foundling, I guess, or it's even Din, he's a foundling as well.
Or Ragnar.
Yeah.
Or Ragnar, like that
we don't
had
know
multiple
fully,
meanings. And what were the other titles so far? Refresh my memory.
That's it. That's the only
That's
title.
it. That's the only other episode.
Nothing else doesn't
I
have
can't
a
remember,
title.
but they've all had like,
The
multiple
Mines of
meanings.
Mandalore.
Mine's Mandalore was pretty straightforward.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's multiple meanings to the Mines of Mandalore.
Yeah,
Oh, you meant the other
pirate?
mines?
there's only
No,
one
it's
pirate.
the land mines of Mandalore.
It's the mines in
You
your
got
mind.
trapped.
Yeah, the
mine.
Mines of Mandalore.
There you
The
go.
mind of
Mines.
Mandalore.
The Apostate was the first one. Which,
That works.
That
on
was
multiple
multiple.
levels.
yeah.
Bo and Din. Yeah.
What was last week? Or what was the before the Foundling?
Was the convert.
Yeah, there we go. Convert.
Oh, yeah,
But
no,
that's-
Again,
That only
Again,
works
multiple.
one
It
way.
could be
Also
the New
multiple.
Republic
Oh,
character. I
right,
always forget her name.
Yeah, with
What's
Dr.
her name?
Pershing.
Elia Kane.
Or
yeah,
Elia
Elia
Kane.
Kane.
All right.
So-
Well, guess what? In this week, the pirate, there were multiple pirates. So
Yeah.
For sure were a lot of
Yeah.
pirates, including one that looked exactly like Smee. From
Smee
yeah.
Man, that gave me like a
Love it.
jump scare. That was
I
great.
just love that. Oh yeah, be prepared for that. Don't be sipping at any time because
Yeah, I
That
know.
happens.
It's dangerous.
I feel like Marauders crew here knows that we're obsessed with pirates anyway. So this episode is right up our alley. Like it just makes total sense.
we've been eating well this season.
Yeah, we have. In terms of pirates, are you kidding? We had Gorian Shard. You can't eat better than Gorian Shard. He's
No.
literally leafy
I
greens.
hear he's delectable.
That's eating healthy. Right
That's
there.
eating healthy
Just-
as hell.
He's a superfood. He's a super pirate food.
He's got tomatoes for eyes. He's basically just a salad.
Oh my god.
He's a walking pirate salad, and I love
Oh,
him,
man.
and I miss him.
So somehow
Yeah.
Palpatine returned, but also somehow I forgot to plug my laptop in. So let me go grab my charger. Talk amongst yourself.
Somehow it is about
Wow.
over there.
Very prepared.
Hey guys, I just thought of something. You ready for this? You ready for this?
No.
Gorian Shard, more like Gorian Chard.
Matt, no.
Oy, that's
And
actually
you
pretty
blew
good.
up.
That's
Thank
actually that worked.
That's good.
Thank you.
You had to wait until AJ left to like drop that one because
Because I usually get him at bad times. He'd probably be like drinking water or something, and he'd be like choking. He has no idea what we're talking about right now.
I love how he had to move Cobb Vanth to get the charger. Like, why did Cobb Vanth have the
'Cause
charger?
He's the
he's the
marshal.
protector of the outlet.
Yeah,
Well, he's got that new robo structure after he got shot the hell up.
That's his upgrade. He has an outlet like on his boot.
He's still got lithium ion batteries.
his
in
foot.
there, you know. He's got to charge.
Right, AJ?
Tom's got to charge for a little while.
Oh man.
Charger.
Jeez.
Yeah, nothing.
Me grabbing my
Anyway.
charger. Anyways,
Don't worry about it.
Anyway,
the pirates. Well,
Pirates.
before
Yeah.
we get to the pirates, let's talk about the best thing I've seen in a while.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
just do it.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah.
When they showed that base, wherever that was, it looked like something out of like Vietnam or something, right? Like
Yeah.
this military
Yeah.
base, this New Republic base, and they're all chilling there with the pool table and the wacky music.
Yeah,
The
it
music
looks
was
so-
great.
basically,
psychedelic
like,
rock music.
Yeah, well,
it almost felt wrong to not have CCR playing. You know, like just.
I bet an edit exists out there already.
You're not wrong.
Oh,
that might
good.
be that might be the Star Wars equivalent of CCR. Maybe they were writing it about the Clone Wars or something. Who knows?
I did think this opening shot of the place looked like the load-in screen for the Scarif map of Battlefront.
A little bit.
I got that vibe, like in a
Interesting.
complimentive way, not like a you suck way.
Yeah,
But I literally I was like, are we loading into Scarif right now? Like heroes versus villains on Scarif?
Going to Scarif.
Like it.
Do we know
Because
what
it
planet
looked
that
like
was?
Scarif. I thought it was Scarif.
So no, we don't know what the planet is yet. Like we know that that's like Adelphi Squadron, Adelphi Station, whatever that group is, but I don't think that's the name of that planet.
Yeah,
but
I don't think it's that. Yeah.
So in Shadow of the Sith.
Here we go. Matt's gonna drop a lot of book references tonight. I just want everyone to know.
Everybody get ready.
There's a lot.
Buckle in. Everybody's gonna buckle in. First one tonight. In Shadow of the Sith, Luke and Lando go to Adelphi base. That's the first time this base has ever been mentioned or brought up was in Shadow of the Sith, where they go to it's an orbiting base. It's not even on a planet. But I would assume the planet is Adelphi.
Wow.
I don't know why it wouldn't be, other than maybe it's like the Adelphi system or, you know, any number of things. But yeah, we see the base years later, and it's the New Republic is just as stuffy and ineffectual as they are in this episode. Luke and Lando show up. They're like, hey, help us out here. And they're like, nah, well, we don't know who you are, whatever. Like, just leave us alone. And they're like, what? So...
Well, that's like literally what happens is like no one recognizes them or
Nobody
like knows who
recognizes
they are.
So it's like they're sitting there like, what? How did this happen?
Matt,
I love that bit when it's like you should know who I am. Like I'm a very important person. Like in Ted Lasso, like that happened in season 2 with Roy Kent trying to get in. And he's like, I'm Roy Kent. And it's like, you don't look like Roy Kent. And then when he has the ticket, he's like, oh, it is you. He's like, fuck off. It was Roy Kent.
Oh yeah. I love that. That happens in season 3 too. Oh, is that Roy Kent? And he's like, fuck off. And they're like, it is. I love that. It's a great running joke. So Chad's comment got brought up. I was gonna save that for later, but I guess I'll get it out of the way now.
Very quickly, because no one knows what you're talking about.
So later on, Gorian Shard mentions the Pirate Nation. So I think we're going to be seeing more of the Pirate Nation. The Pirate Nation, it was originally set up in the Aftermath trilogy of novels, which, if you know anything about post-Return of the Jedi, you know that practically every piece of content post-Return of the Jedi takes something from Aftermath. And Mandalorian has already taken a lot. Cobb Vanth is from the Aftermath trilogy. The Bounty Hunters Guild is set up in the Aftermath trilogy. And now we have the Pirate Nation in the novels. In the interludes, a pirate named Eliodi Marcavania finds a super star destroyer and collects themselves a huge crew and civilians and all these people, and they actually head out into space to start their own pirate nation. And something I learned today, Eliodi Marcavania.
Okay, good.
I'm pretty sure that's the Swedish Prime Minister, actually.
Oh yeah,
that's what that sounds like.
Yeah. What do you call it? Gorian mentions like the New Republic can't even protect the mid-rim from the Pirate Nation. So
it's encroaching. And fun story or fun fact: in Victory's Price, which I haven't read, but I looked this up. The second novel in the Alphabet Squadron. The pirate sector is mentioned there too. So this pirate problem has been set up in multiple novels before it appeared in The Mandalorian. I love that problem.
But you know what else is cool? If you're even remotely interested in pirates as like a real thing in history, there's also, you know, the Pirate Nation was like a real thing, a real concept that pirates like of the actual Caribbean and whatnot, like
pirates of the actual Caribbean.
The actual Caribbean, you know, like the Golden Age of piracy. Not the movie, but I guess also the movie. Right?
I was gonna say,
I
mean,
but yeah, there's multiple levels to my favorite term. There's multiple layers to this. Like everything about pirates, like there's they're pulling from so much from the books, and the people who have read the books or look up stuff consistently, like Matt does, know about this, and then people who are just like, you know, weirdos like us who really like pirates are like, oh my god, like they're like bringing that kind of thing into it, and then otherwise it's just like an offhanded line that's just like, all right, cool, there's other pirates out there like Hondo and Senna Athano.
Yeah.
I cannot stop pressing the Sidon Ithano button, and I will keep pressing it until he appears on screen.
What does the button look like?
Huh?
What does the button look like? Is it shaped like his helmet?
Yeah,
like his helmet.
She's gonna be shaped like him.
It's basically just our logo.
Desperate for Hondo on screen.
I know.
And Hondo. Right. I mean, they already have his live action look down because they have it in Galaxy's Edge. So
he exists, obviously, and everyone knows him.
Wait, I saw someone saying in a chat the other day that on Gorian's ship where there's that Ugnaught that's like there. Like, what if that was Hondo's friend? His friend Ugnaught that like turned on him and like joined Gorian. I was like, wow, damn.
I forget his name.
What was his name?
But he didn't speak. He didn't speak Basic. He spoke.
No, he didn't.
Oh, true. He didn't speak it.
Well, maybe he learned.
Although maybe he learned Basic. Learned to talk like a pirate. Talk like a pirate day. When is Talk Like a Pirate
Yeah, what
day?
is that character?
It's like September.
I remember the character. I don't remember the name though. It'll come to us.
Yeah.
Chad, that's your job. Look it up.
I feel like it was like something silly like Clem. I know that was like the name in Andor that Cassian used. That was his father. But like I feel like it was something simple like that.
Yeah. And if Hondo has to come back, like this Ugnaught sidekick has to come back for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
With them,
Velch.
of course.
No,
Melch.
not Velch.
Melch.
Oh,
Melch.
Melch.
It was
Remember
Melch?
in Star Wars with the names that only change one letter. Like,
yeah.
There's Velch and Andor, iconic.
Melch.
There's Melchi, and now there's Melch.
Oh my god.
There's too many people. There's too many people to keep track
There's
of.
too many people in Star Wars.
Thank you, Chad. I wasn't asking for when Talk Like a Pirate Day was. I was asking about the Ugnaught. But thank you.
We found out. So back to the New Republic base with the pilots. At one end of the bar, before we see Zeb and Carson Teva, we see Filoni, Rick Famuyiwa, and Deborah Chow, right?
Yep.
And they were the three pilots in season 1, so we had to have them chilling at the bar. And
I
Filoni's hat.
Yeah, I love that Filoni was like, I'm gonna wear my hat, and they were like, should he wear the hat? And Dave's like, I'm gonna wear the hat, and then
he's gotta wear the hat.
Yeah, you know that was the terms and conditions of him being on screen.
And then
I don't actually think I've ever seen him without his hat. Like, I've seen him with a helmet, but I don't think I've ever seen.
I don't know what the top of his head looks like.
I think that he's like actually like decraniated, like the people in Solo. They don't have like the top half of their heads.
Or he's like a Lego.
He's like a droid.
A Lego figure.
That being said, this hat didn't have like the grooves on top like it normally does, and so he had more of like the Cad Bane style of hat, which I thought was really interesting because they were probably like, all right, look, you of all people know you can't wear the cowboy hat, but you can do the space cowboy hat.
Space cowboy hat, which is like just slightly different, flatter brim, and just like a square top. I feel like a cowboy hat's been seen in Star Wars before. Am I crazy?
On Cad Bane.
Other than Cad Bane.
I think in a couple things. You know where we should have it on Cobb Vanth. On occasion, I do toss one of the cowboy hats on that cardboard cutout down there, but he doesn't stand that well with it. So
go full cowboy.
Oh, there it is. That's what Dave Filoni's head looks like underneath.
Yeah. he kind of looks like a monk where it's actually bald on the top, but he's got like hair just that
it's literally
around his ears.
Right around, like as soon as you lift the hat, it's like there's bald.
It's a temp control thing. He actually can grow, like the hair's fine there. It's just he shaves it just because like that.
Yeah. I think we get into the bottom.
Anyway,
guys. Dave Filoni, if you're listening, I know you are. Come on our show, disprove it.
Yeah, I love how he literally was like, Zeb is going to be in this scene, and I want to be in this scene as well. So I love how that was like that decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stuff.
And then we see Carson Teva himself, the actual part of the scene.
Yes.
Point of the scene, I should say. And he gets a message, right, from Grief Karga, which we didn't even talk about, that Navarro got absolutely blown away by the pirates. Finally. Like, how long?
Been waiting to see some civilians running. Jeez.
Mando left the Navarro in episode 1 or whatever chapter that was at this point. I can't keep track. But episode 1 of this season. and he flew by those pirates. Were they just chilling up there for a while before they attacked, or was that like right after?
No, they were getting their supplies and whatnot. Like, look, everybody had to like go back because the ship.
Pillaging.
They had pirate errands to run.
They got a lot of errands.
Drinking
grog. Quick plunder here and there.
Pirate errand.
What is a pirate errand? Well, they got to get more cannonballs, and they have to replenish their fruit.
Yeah, exactly. Get your fresh planks just in case you pop.
You don't want to get space scurvy.
I was just gonna say, does space scurvy exist?
Probably.
For sure. Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, malnutrition is a thing no matter what.
Is it treated with citrus fruits? There you go. So that's what the errands are.
Have we done a build a pirate yet?
I think we wanted to. I don't think we got to it yet, but now is the opportunity.
Stay tuned for Build a Pirate at some point in the future.
We'll do it on September 19th. Talk Like a Pirate Day.
We have to do it talking like a pirate the whole time?
No.
Could be tough.
It'd be a tall order.
But anyways,
Jack's already in the spirit.
Navarro got blown away.
Yeah,
kind of. Some of it did. Grief, and everyone runs away. They're just walking the desert there, or whatever that is, the wasteland.
Are like, we're hunkering down.
Yeah, the Andellans stayed.
Andellans stayed.
No one could get in their house, in their
wacky
building.
Monkey Wizards stayed.
Yeah, and they helped out big time.
But guys, guess who followed?
What? I don't remember.
One of the villagers was a Melito.
What's a Melito?
Was a Sarcoplank.
Okay. I noticed that guy. It was the guy with like the toenail face.
Yeah, toenail face.
I didn't notice him.
I didn't notice him. I was losing it. Every time he appeared on screen, I was dancing. I was like,
I pointed that out.
You were dancing.
I was like, that's the toenail guy, and he just kind of looked at me like.
I did.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I was wondering the whole time. I was wondering where Grief's robes went. I guess he left them behind.
He dropped them once the evacuation started.
He was like, "I'm out."
Well, what I thought was funny in my rewatch, I noticed that Gorian hails Grief. Grief answers the hail. They talk. He negotiates. And then Gorian ends in the snarkiest way possible and is factually incorrect when he goes, and if you don't hail me again unless it's to surrender, sir, you called me.
I was thinking the same thing when that happened.
Wow.
That's great.
The audacity.
That's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to call somebody and be like, don't call me again.
That's a good move. Of it.
Brilliant. That's a brilliant move.
Gorian looked very nice on that hologram, I'd say. Right, Matt?
Oh, yeah. Big Muppet energy. Friggin' love the Muppet mouth.
Actually, the mouth.
Oh,
it was a little wacky.
Dude, I absolutely love when Muppets have
no
like big lips and they're like...
Yeah. And then they like randomly like purse forward for like no reason.
And their mouth just like doesn't match the movement at all. But
Not at all.
your brain just like fills it in.
It's the new species. They don't know fully what the deal is. They're just rolling with it.
If I had to pick between like like the issues that we've had with CGI characters and just like how fake they can feel, especially when you watch them like 5 or 10 years down the road as technology keeps improving, versus a puppet. Damn, man, the practical shit just keeps working. Like, I don't care how jank it is, I still love it over the CGI. This is preaching to the choir. We all love some good puppet work.
Bring back Puppet Yoda in episode 1.
Even episode 1 Puppet Yoda.
Even
absolutely
Puppet Yoda. Bring him back.
CGI Puppet Yoda with green screen and composites into episode 2 and 3. I want some puppeteer to lose their mind trying to do that for the Dooku fight. I need
do it with everybody. Remove all CG from all the movies. I want Puppet Tarkin in Rogue One. Just give me Puppet everything.
He's just like a Muppet.
I just want Muppet Star Wars now.
I want to be there when the puppeteer gets the brief of the fight Yoda has to have with Count Dooku and Attack of the Clones. Goes, he does what? He jumps how high?
Hey,
we're gonna need
does
a
it a bit.
Muppet for that.
And it's literally like, oh my god, that Japanese theater. What is it, Kabuki, where they like dress in all black and they're just kind of like standing in the background.
Oh, in the back,
as they're, like, moving. There's like 3 guys dressed in black and they're just running around Christopher Lee as he's swinging at this. They're just tossing a puppet all around.
Attack of the Clones, the musical.
What do we get this? We get the Kabuki cut of Attack of the Clones, guys.
The Kabuki cut.
That's brilliant.
R.I.P. Puppet Yoda.
dude.
Is
I didn't think we'd go there today, but
Wow.
I don't know where I thought we were gonna go today, but we went there. So
there.
No one,
This
no one
is
could have
it.
had Kabuki cut on their bingo card.
I don't know.
I forgot
Chad
about the
might
bingo
have.
cards. Chad had it.
Yeah.
So we
Can we
talked
talk
about
about
Zeb
the-
a bit.
Can we talk about the fact that the pirates had an actual like wheel on their bridge?
Yeah, I
Like,
love
they're
that.
steering by a wheel in a starship.
That ship is really cool.
Oh my
space.
god.
Maybe it's like a boat. You know how like they've got the rudder control. And
It was
like,
exactly like a boat. It was ridiculous how like it was an actual boat, and like I love how they kept referring to the ship as a Corsair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I believe it had a different name,
It was
but it was Corsair class.
Cumulus Corsair class is the
Yes.
name of the ship.
What a cool ship! What
What
a
a cool
ship.
friggin' ship. Why did they destroy it? Why did they kill him? Okay.
They destroy all the cool ships.
Oh,
The
really
Razor Crest
excited.
is gone. This thing's gone.
Yeah,
What a
really
cool
bizarre.
any of those holes. Oh, it was
Like,
just garbage.
what's the likelihood they'll come out with a Lego set of it though? Like, even
I
though it's
want
gone
one.
now, they'll
I'm
be like, Lego
expecting it.
set, let's do it.
They
Yeah,
made
got,
one of
like,
the little, or they're
movable
making one of
fighters
the
to
little,
fly.
their little ships, the snub fighters, like they called them. I
Yeah.
want one of the big one.
Okay,
That's
we're getting
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're getting
Like a
High
mini
Republic
snub fighter.
Legos. Anything is possible. We're getting High
Sure.
Republic Legos.
Yeah,
There'll
the
be a
little
goddamn
kiddos.
UCS and it'll be $750.
Yeah.
Yes.
Complete side note, we're
less.
getting the High Republic Legos, but they're for like the new little kids show and everything. And they're highly marketing Nubs, the little blue teddy bear looking guy that D. Bradley Baker
Nubs.
voices.
Oh my god.
But he's not in Lego form, and I'm absolutely gutted. They have like all the other characters except Nubs, and I'm like, you make him in all the other merchandise, but you're not going to make him in the Lego.
They're gonna make a full buildable Nubs life
There
size.
you go.
Yeah.
Giant Nubs.
Yes,
Give it a
there
try.
we go.
Hunter, I 100% agree. I want a Starhawk and Mando like yesterday.
That'd be cool.
Please.
So Carson Teva gets the message
Yes.
that he has to. Well, I don't know what he thinks at first because he goes to Coruscant after. But we see Zeb, and Zeb's like, "Hey, I thought Navarro was coming around,"
Hey.
and I don't know what else he said, but it's weird that I don't know what he meant by that. Like I
No,
know
yeah.
Navarro joined the New Republic, but I don't know. What were you guys gonna say?
I really
I
thought Navarro was gonna make it.
That's what he says.
Oh, okay.
Because like
I
they
was
limited
just
it
so
to-
wowed that I like didn't
Yeah.
listen to what he said.
I
I was
didn't
just like,
care what he
that's
said.
Zeb. That's all I thought.
I don't remember anything he said. I just remember looking at him in like awe.
Yeah.
I
Literally,
was
literally.
okay. I was obsessed at like with these flight suits as well because there's the good combination of
That's
like the
really
OT flight suits and the flight vests, and then there's like the early like resistance like flight vests, which was just like so cool to like start seeing. All the blue ones were like this new like pseudo version of like a New Republic resistance version. I'm not even in this shot. It's just me talking about it. I was
You
like,
are Zeb in this shot.
my last piece about this, I was obsessed with the fact that he has like the short sleeves and short pants per accommodating his arms and legs, but it's just like a Vosk's flight suit and whatnot, and so like I love how they like
Oh, yeah.
continued using that like
That's what it was.
aesthetic, which it's
Thank
just
you.
it's perfect. So,
That is
I'm gonna place it.
a good point.
That's-
He
that's
looks
good.
so good.
he looks so
The
good.
hair on his arms looks phenomenal. Like his face doesn't look too scary.
His
I was
goatee looked good, or whatever.
I
you
was
call it.
worried about
CGI.
Yeah.
This whole episode really was top notch. Like the dog fights and like the whole battle with the Corsair was incredible.
Mm.
And
Honestly,
like
the
Zeb here,
CG
like
this
so smooth.
season
worked so well. Like
has
I was
been
just
really good.
I was talking trash on CGI like not 5 minutes ago, but that Zeb was
But it looked good
so
here.
well done. Spared no expense.
Yeah. They definitely like shoveled a lot of money into this episode, and it showed, which was really really exciting to see all of it. And like I like said like afterwards, like this episode low key is one of my favorite episodes of The Mandalorian. And I never thought I would like say that something over the Marshall, but it really is. It's up there.
Would you say this? Yeah, it was up there. Would you say this episode had like some of the most animation or like CG that we see in a lot of these? Because Peter Ramsey
Maybe.
directed this one, and he's very known. He's never directed live action, as far as I know. I was looking through his thing prior to the episode, and he's known for Into the Spider-Verse and a lot of big things like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
maybe
I
they
mean,
were
like-
like, oh, this guy's great at this stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, like
I don't
there was a ton of CG this episode. I mean, they had like the big character reveal. A lot of it was like space battles and that kind of stuff. All the Mandalorians flying around like that.
Mm.
That was like another like big piece of it.
yeah,
Yep.
Coruscant.
Yeah.
Coruscant, yeah, that's
Coruscant.
all not
Well,
there.
That was a big part of like why Dave Filoni worked so well like when he came on to work on Clone Wars, because he was working on Avatar The Last Airbender before that, and to direct action in animation, it's a totally different beast. There's so many different considerations, and to bring it to life in a way that's enjoyable, it just takes a different mind from live action work, even though a lot of live action has CGI these days. When you're relying on it more than you are the live action part of it, there's a different approach you can take. It was really cool to see.
This was really good. He did a really good job.
Excellent job, yeah. And we go to Coruscant from there.
Speaking of excellent jobs,
so much Coruscant.
Let's talk about Tim Meadows.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
one person I never expected to see in Star Wars.
Came out of nowhere, and he was great.
Kind of wanted.
Immediately, as soon as he popped up, my whole day was just made. There was a light in my life I didn't know.
Zeb didn't do it for you.
Zeb did it for me, but come on, I love Tim Meadows. I love seeing him, and I love that all the New Republic people are played by comedians. I think that's the funniest thing.
It just adds so much depth to the fact that they're letting the First Order just like rise in the shadows, and they have no idea because they're all just a bunch of dopes. I'm sorry, they are like
mostly.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty.
What was his job in this? Like, I know he was sitting at a desk doing kind of like the files kind of stuff that Pershing was doing when we saw him.
Director,
coordinator,
managerial,
something like that.
Yeah, some
managerial man,
section manager of some kind. I don't know. Like,
there's a uniform similar to Crix Madine, wasn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember what his title was.
Well, it had 5 dots, 4 dots. 4 dots.
You know, I did not count the Purina logo this time.
We'll go back.
Actually,
what does a dot mean?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
No idea.
Gotta mean a lot has to mean a lot.
You guys would know.
What do the ranks mean?
I don't know anything about the ranking system. People are always talking about the Imperial like badges.
Yeah,
and I'm sitting there just like,
his rank badge is all over the place. Yeah, and he's just got the
the diagonal one.
Don't judge me casually having this photo of like the 3.
Oh, it's a great photo. I love it.
Like I've been looking at it for the past like day when I'm not crying over the Bad Batch. So this is a great photo.
So in other words, you can see that he clearly has tic-tac-toe.
Yes,
he's almost.
He won.
Yeah,
he has tic-tac-toe. See, he's got.
Oh, the 3
diagonals.
He's got it.
This isn't got random greebly on his jacket.
Crix Nadine has a random beard on his face that wasn't there.
It's glued on.
It's glued on.
Is that
do you know that
that's
story?
Why it looks so weird.
Do you know that story? It's one of my favorite Star Wars stories. They made the Crix Madine figure, and the actor shaved, and they were like, "We can't have you shaved because the figure has a beard." So they glued a beard on his face.
No way. It does look bizarre. It looks
bizarre.
weird.
It looks awful.
Well, I mean, what else could they do back then? You know, like, good lord, what the hell, man? You had one job, and that was to not shave your beard until production was done.
Oh, that's great.
I guess they didn't think he was going to shave his beard. Who knows?
I guess not.
I feel like they should have discussed that in this contract. Jesus.
He didn't think an action figure was going to get made over.
Back in the day, it was tough.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Star Wars was built on action figures.
Speaking of wardrobes, let's just quickly talk about Carson Teva's jacket.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Such a good bomber jacket.
Such a good bomber jacket that Poe Dameron wears in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Is that the same one?
It's the same one.
Pretty much.
The same patch. That meaning that Poe Dameron is wearing like a vintage New Republic like bomber's jacket.
And it's so worn in and like weathered up.
Probably from his dad.
That's what I keep saying, dude. It
has to be Kes Dameron's. Oh, guys, if we get Kes and Shara Bay, I am probably gonna like lose my shits.
Why haven't they done that? They have to.
It's coming. It's coming.
They're sprinkling in
the
great stuff. They're being very subtle. I appreciate it. You know, like not because I don't like the sequels. It's that it helps weave it in more fluidly versus being like, see, here it is. It's right here. You know, like same with
more
Rebels.
natural.
Like we got the space whales in the first episode.
Purrgil.
Thank you, Purrgil. I wasn't gonna waste time. And then now we have Zeb, like just sprinkling it in, you know, getting us hyped in just a little bit, revving the engines.
Exactly.
Instead of being like, hey, you guys remember Rebels? There's a show coming out.
On the other side of the coin, we see Elia Kane, you know, side-eyeing everywhere, looking around, being all sus.
Yeah, being majorly sus.
She immediately butts her way into the office where they're talking. And how do we feel about her right now, Hannah? Like a couple episodes ago, we had the Pershing Elia Kane episode. How are you feeling about that whole situation and where Elia Kane is?
I'm so confused. I am
Me too.
beyond confused. Is she okay? She's like quadrupling crossing herself. I don't even know. She was in Imperial. She was post Empire Imperial. Then she's gone against it. Then she's for the New Republic now. But then she's going against Pershing, going against the New Republic. But she's still for the Empire. But then doesn't like people doing things to help the New Republic. But then I don't even know. I'm trying to piece together her angle.
I think
it's like Max says in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. No, I'm not a triple agent. I was just lying about being a double. That's it.
Yeah, and she's gonna say it just like that.
And then he gets, dude, yes, he gets sucked up into the ultimate dimension.
I think she's still working for Gideon. And
yeah.
She was just getting revenge on Gideon's behalf for Pershing, and all she needed to do was implicate him in a way that put her in a position over him that she could just, snuff him, either mentally or entirely. What bothers me is that, like, she was the last person in that room. She friggin' just casually just broke the override, or she wasn't even an override. She just turned the dial. And no one questioned her. She's not in any trouble, and she's allowed to just wander into like some like ranking officers meeting with like a outer rim pilot. I don't know. So the whole situation is just crazy that she isn't under.
They're letting her go everywhere.
Actions. Well, she's like a. I mean, for the New Republic, she seems like she's some kind of agent. She's not just like a
triple agent.
A triple agent. What is it? No. What do you? I don't know. She's not just one of the informant? Amnesty people, but she's an informant. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. She seems to be like higher ranking, so she's gained their trust in some regard. So maybe they just thought like Pershing was a weak baby mind and was like and couldn't handle it on the lowest setting, and they were like, "Oops." I still think we're getting Pershing back. I don't think this is the last we're seeing of Pershing. But that's just my crazy theory.
His mind is wiped.
I think so too.
Yeah, he's invisible right now, but I would love to see him again.
Me too.
The thing with like Elia Kane is like I find it hilarious how like Carson's gives his little like bit, and like she's literally just like lurking outside the office, and then she just like randomly grabs like her tablet, and she's just like, "Oh, I'm going out in the commissary. Do you want a cup of coffee or something?" And then the guy's just like, "Oh no, actually," and then he asks her like all this like high level intel, and it's like. What is your security clearance policy here? Like, why are you letting the amnesty people on all these like conversations that probably they shouldn't be in on? It's just the New Republic's a mess, and they've done a great job of showing us how much of a mess the New Republic is.
You know what the New Republic is? Are you guys familiar with the series of unfortunate events, either the books or the TV show?
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Poe,
he always sick.
Takes care of the orphans who are staying with Count Olaf, who's bad, but he never notices that Count Olaf is bad or around. He notices he's bad.
None of the adults
that's not him.
Ever recognize Count Olaf in any of his disguises in every single book.
That's the New Republic.
That's literally them. Like there's a literal like double agent for the Empire standing in the room listening to intel, telling them like, I don't think you should help them just because they're not in the New Republic. And that doesn't sound evil at all. And everybody's like, "Yup, that sounds good." Like it's just like it's a good way of showing the New Republic being undermined by first the Imperial Remnant, and then eventually it turns into the First Order. Because that is a big part of why the New Republic fell, was because so many people in the New Republic were like secretly First Order.
Yeah. So I guess we'll make our way to the actual Mandalorians.
Ooh, wait, can I talk about the plucky astromech droid first?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This guy. Spills all the chips on the table. That's pretty funny. Bumped into a guy 2 episodes ago. That was pretty funny. This guy's big knee slapper. Really like him.
Oh yeah.
I hope we see him again.
I think we will.
It's like that coworker who's just constantly in everyone's way.
Yep.
Sorry.
Does he have a name? Do you know if he has a name?
I think he said like R8 or something. Don't do that or something. Like he said his name.
I have to go back.
He's working for.
All right, Chad. You know what to do.
You're putting Chad to work today.
I'm putting
Jeez.
Chad to work. Chad.
So the Mandalorians, Carson makes his way to whatever that planet is, where the alligators and
Dragons.
raptors are flying around.
dragons,
hell,
yep.
hell on Earth, or hell on whatever planet.
Australia.
Awful.
Australia. So
We weren't gonna say it.
they get there, and I'm like, how did he track these people down? And we get one of the best scenes in the season so far, where
So good.
who was the rat in here? And then R5 just rolls out,
Speaking
goes over
of
to Carson.
sassy droids.
How
Yeah,
they
very
just
sassy.
blow him away right then and there, just for his betrayal.
I would have been so sad.
I love how R5 literally rolls out, like, and you could pretty much, obviously the droids don't like emote ever, but you could tell he was just like, yes, finally, I'm saved,
Yeah, like,
I'm leaving,
oh my God,
hooray,
get me
I'm
out of
going
here.
home."
I'm just a big fan of the fact that that at least Carson Teva considered him part of the covert. Like, how funny is that?
He
Like,
pretty much is.
I mean, he is, but he didn't have a helmet. So I'm sorry.
Nah.
We're gonna have to kick him out.
Maybe the dome counts as a helmet.
Yeah,
When you
his
pop it
head
off.
is a helmet.
It's
Yeah.
his
That's
true
the way.
self.
He's got like
bucket's
a
a bucket.
flying
It
Helmet
helmet.
pops
on
off,
wheels.
and Mega Gascon is inside.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here we go.
There it
Only-
is.
Only Johnny was here.
Here we go.
Meeber watch.
Hey, we almost got a moment of the cult being bad. I'm looking for any ounce I can get, although it seems like it's kind of gone. So, anyways,
Yeah, I don't know.
no, Matt.
You're not,
no
you're not
talking,
getting
Matt.
it. You're not getting it, AJ.
Paz threatened to kill Carson on the spot, and I'm like, whoa, buddy, that's the most
He's
evil
just
thing
a-
they've done,
It is.
I
He's
think
just a
that's a
wacko.
Paz
except
Vizsla
stealing
thing.
things.
He's
It's a
just
Vizsla thing.
loose cannon, and he has a loose
He is a
cannon.
loose cannon.
Every Vizsla is like, oh, I'm gonna kill the good guys. That's just what they do. You can't fault them for
He
it.
always has
What do you
something
call
to
him?
say.
Blue shirt?
Yeah,
He
blue.
calls
He
him
called him a
Blue boy. Blue
Blue
boy.
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 Clear out, blue
Get
boy.
out of here,
Blue
blue
boy.
boy.
Except he's in
He's
orange.
an orange.
So great
I know,
job,
I was like,
buddy.
what?
Well, because it's
Zeb was actually in
'cause it's
blue.
new-
They
the-
got-
The
it's
flag is
the
orange.
New Republic blue. Yeah,
Yeah, sure. For
because
sure.
the flag is blue with like a golden.
Is it-
I didn't know if that was
golden
just
thing
them
in it.
calling him a cop. but
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it because he's a ranger and like
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe?
that's,
down for
it
that.
could have been anything.
Blue boy.
Or it's because he's a vault dweller and they just start calling him blue.
All I'm saying
it's
is
gotta
that
be.
look who the hell is talking, Paz. Have you seen the color of your armor?
Very blue.
Yeah.
It's like a
Sure, it's
grayish,
blue.
purpley blue.
I would have been like,
can't
look,
help but laugh at Paz Vizsla all the time. Like they cut to him for like specific moments,
His
but
head
like
looks so small.
I'm
Yep.
sorry, he's cool. He has really cool armor, but he looks like
Jody
such a
head.
dope.
I love that
time-
helmet. I want to make it bigger though.
You like this
Every
helmet?
time I see him,
No,
he just
no,
like
not that.
steps up and it's just like dunk dunk dunk. The armor wants to see you. Dunk dunk.
When he walks
I
down the
can't-
like, spiral
like-
staircase later,
Oh my god!
That
I
was
thought they were
tough.
all gonna like fall down the stairs.
They probably
I
did.
was like, oh my god.
Oh,
I can't
while
help it.
we're-
I'm sorry. That's my Paz Vizsla rant. I think he looks silly. He had really cool armor, but I think he looks silly, and I giggle every time I see him because I'm like,
no,
this
I'm with
man.
you. They
It's
have
big
so
man,
many
tiny
Paz
head body.
Vizsla, like reaction cuts where they'll cut to him and he'll just be like,
It's no reaction.
he'll just
It's-
turn his head slightly, and you're like, yep.
It's no reaction from him. They have like reactions of like Bo and Din all the time, and they do a lot of like looking at each other like, oh shit, but like that's reaction. Paz Vizsla is just stone face helmet, I guess.
Oh. Speaking of which, I swear I could see Din and Bo do the blink beam,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
when they're like, "Cause we're Mandalorians." Like, wait, what?
I-
see that?
and,
Yes.
and that's where Paz was redeemed. I'm going to say something controversial here. Even though I still think they're a cult. I still think the no helmets policy is bad. But I really like this group because they're so hard to pin down. Like, Favreau has done such a good job of making these characters, like, I really want to dislike them, but they keep making
You heard it
decisions
here.
that make me
Matt
want
loves
to
the
like
cult.
them. It's unfortunate, but that's just what I'm
Well,
going to
they're
have
not
to say.
being
That's here for the
depicted
cult
in a
stuff.
very negative light.
They're
you
not.
know?
They're
Like,
being depicted in
No.
a very positive light. They
Well, they-
do good things.
And that's where I
yeah, they're
feel,
not awful
like
people.
you said earlier, Jack, it kind of feels like each season is written by a different person because they used to write the cult in a more negative way. And especially when we saw it from Bo-Katan's eyes, and we all kind of were annoyed by them, maybe because of their helmet rule. And we're like, we haven't seen this before. But now, like this season, they've kind of been seen as, especially this episode, heroic. So
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
well-
this they've this whole season they've completely reshaped my opinion on them, and I see them more as a monastic sect more than a cult.
I agree.
Those have the same rules. Like, you can get kicked out of a monastery. No one calls monks part of a cult. And I think
I do.
Okay, well, I mean, fair.
No, I'm kidding.
Totally.
Go, just keep going. Just keep going.
Me playing both sides, so I always come out on top. I think there's something interesting about a culture that is faced with great oppression, and as a response to that, because like fundamentalism is a really rough thing, because oftentimes we see examples of it in our society and in history where it's used for its own kind of oppression, right? But like here, fundamentalism is being used as like a return to roots, as because like these are the principles that helped us survive when we were like literally when Mandalore was a jungle planet, we were literally fighting every day against these beasts. And so like the internet, Twitter, and memes in general have kind of rephrased them as a cult, but I don't know anymore because like they're not that culty. They could be way more abusive to their people. Like the children, like Din's like, hey, why don't we let our kids play? And they're like, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Like, they're not like so set in their ways that they refuse.
Yeah, I mean, they let Bo-Katan in. Like, that was a big deal. So,
and then at the end, I mean, like, let's just jump to it. I mean, like, the armorer did something no one, I think, in this room could have expected. And that's like to tell Bo to take her helmet off and to say, hey, the fact that you aren't quite one of us, but you are now, is a real benefit, and it's time we stop being so rigid. That was so cool, and that's why I'm like, they're not. I don't really think they're a cult anymore. I'm gonna stop calling them cult.
I really have grown on them.
Yeah,
they've grown on you.
Yep.
So
I mean, this season's done a lot of work to make them not seem like a cult.
No, I agree. I agree with all that, and I have a couple friends that think the armor, it goes deeper than that, and the armor is like playing Bo at the end. And I'm like, I don't think that's it, because they make it seem very. It'd be a hell of a twist, but like, I don't think it's that.
I think a lot of people went into this season expecting the armor to be the villain.
Yeah, me too.
Including me.
Bo and the armor to butt heads.
Including me.
100%. None of that happened.
No.
And it's just turned around completely. And instead we got Mr. Leafy Greens himself as the main villain so far.
He's dead. So
But now he's dead. So we're getting the real villain, because obviously they tease Gideon at the end. But
Gideon again.
How do you guys feel about... Oh, sorry, Hannah. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Yeah, just quickly on the Mando thing. Like, to me, the main plot of this show, or purpose of this show, is to show like what people do in the face of adversity. You know what I mean? So, the Mandalorian people have hit massive adversity for years. And so I found it really, I've heard that thought too, where it's like, oh, the Armorer could be like, playing Bo and she's going to like kill her later or whatever. But I definitely think it's genuine, because it's like, I think this is the point, like this is where the story should turn to be like, we have to come together if we want to overcome and be like our people again and reclaim Mandalore, and all those big sweeping statements. Like they had to figure out how to get along. So I think the Armorer has just clicked that. I think that's just like, she's just realized that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The battle like catalyzed it for her, like seeing how Bo was able to just mesh in this battle with the group
even
and everything.
Last week,
yeah, exactly.
That episode, I didn't really like that episode last week that much, but I think it was big for Bo and Din, and Paz is now like friends with all of them because they went to all that trouble to save his son.
Yeah,
so like, that was a big
absolutely.
Deal.
Yeah,
and how? Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Go ahead. No, you started.
I was just gonna, like, how cool was that battle? I mean, like, I've been hurting to talk about it this whole time. Like, the moment they like dropped out of Bo-Katan's ship, I was just like jumping in my couch. Like,
the moment they
oh my god,
they gave their little pregame speech and then they jumped out of hyperspace. I was like, oh, this is like something out of Halo or something. I
was about to make that comment, being like, Halo ODST. Like, is that you?
Fight.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was very video game with the whole prep of the entire thing. Right, like, all right, this is the mission, and here we go. And like, I loved how packed everyone was in the ship as well, because they all had to be in Bo-Katan's ship. I'm also, how did the armor get to the surface?
How did the covert?
She doesn't have a jetpack.
Get to that planet.
How did the what?
How did the whole
They were all in Bo-Katan's ship.
No, how did they get to where they were hiding in the first place if they didn't have a ship? Because they're using Bo in the N1.
That's oh my god, that is such a good point.
How did they get there?
They took an Uber.
The Purgle.
That's
oh man,
right? Because they don't have a ship.
Good question.
All they had to do was just put one ship somewhere.
Unless they had a ship and the alligator ate it or something. But...
It could be like somewhere in like a big cave or something. You know, if you're hiding in a covert, you're not going to just let your ship be out in the open. That kind of
true.
The purpose of hiding in a cave. So it's probably hidden somewhere.
I mean, but that being said, Bo-Katan leaves her ship out, and that's literally how Carson Teva like finds them. Because he's like,
that's true. They don't care at all.
So
yeah, maybe that really kind of blows that out of the water.
Now we just mentioned how the armor got to the surface. All I can think is, you know how her skirt is kind of shaped like a thruster or like a jet. Like imagine her skirt was like a jet thruster. That's how she travels.
And her like fur cape is like actually wings underneath.
Ooh, she like Batman.
It's like a glider.
Yeah. Kind of like Astro Boy, but like instead of the boots, it's her skirt. That's the boost. Yeah.
That's it.
I think
I like that.
We've unlocked it, guys.
It's got like Tim Allen's Santa pants that like don't catch fire.
Tim Allen's Santa pants.
Tim Allen's Santa pants. Check that one off, guys. The Santa Claus
needed to mention
that. Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe Paz like was carrying her, and it's like we're just not going to show that because that doesn't look very dignified at all.
Yeah,
true.
He's like, carrying her down like that would kind of look weird, I guess. And there's really no other way she could do it.
Yeah. You must put me down over here where no one will see me, so I may sneak in. And then you may join the rest of the group.
How do we feel about Bo? Like,
how do we feel about Bo?
Ever since she saw that mythosaur, she's been very shook.
It was so like, you kidding? You serious?
What do you mean?
She's kind of lost her sass and her confidence.
Is this a trick? Is this a test?
It's not an armorer trap.
Blink twice if it's a test.
Think.
Shit, you can't blink. You have a helmet on. All right, I need to know if this is a test.
But yeah. Anyways, you guys were talking over my question.
Go ahead.
She's really lost her confidence, especially going into this season because all of her people left her. But she still had some of that when she was going. And I think Katie Sackhoff has done an incredible job because she's a different character now. Like in that episode where she goes to save Din, she still had her sass and some confidence, all that stuff. She saw the mythosaur completely different now. Like not completely different, but like she's lost all that wit and that sass, and she's timid she's scared of the armorer.
Yeah,
like she's very hesitant, and it's I would be too, I guess. But
it's kind of funny because that's kind of what she is in Rebels. She's acting more like she does in Rebels, where like the same kind of shift happened, except instead of being sassy, she was evil. And then she kind of like just kind of softens up and is very timid about taking the Darksaber and like being the person to lead her people. And now they're like, let's do it again. Round 2.
Yeah. So much anxiety around that for her. I mean, like she's already tried this, like this is technically third time if you count like the assault on Gideon's cruiser to try to get the Darksaber. And like when we found her at start of season 3, she was totally lost. She was just sitting on her throne, doing absolutely nothing except sitting on that throne.
Playing her Nintendo Switch. That's what she was doing before.
Just catching up on Breath of the Wild before the new one comes out.
And the droid walks up and he's like, "Oh, Mando's here," and she's like, "Oh," and she's like, tucks it. She like hides it behind the seat.
That TikTok where she's like racing to get ready is everything.
I haven't seen that. That's amazing.
It's incredible.
It's a good one.
And so like she really lost all meaning to her goal and her mission, and like it or not, the destruction of her home kind of forced her to start doing things again, and instead of stagnating post season 2. And seeing the legendary creature of your culture will do things to you. And I really like seeing that she's like, she doesn't want to screw this up because she's been handed a legendary moment, and I don't think it's lost on her.
She doesn't want to screw this up because she's already screwed it up.
So many times.
Big time. I mean, one might argue that she is the reason for the Night of 1,000 Tears. We don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
before the Night of 1,000 Tears, she was given the Darksaber and told to lead her people get in a revolt against the Empire. Next thing we know, they're blowing Sundari to shit. So who knows? You know. But
Thank God she gets to take her helmet off again.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they improved the wig so much they had to show it off.
Yeah.
They had to be like, guys,
It's true.
look,
Come on,
it
it
looks
is,
much better
yeah.
now, guys. It looks much better.
The hair department
We
for
nailed
the
it.
past like 2 episodes has been like.
I will say that I was adamant on Din being the Mandalore, but now I think it's going to be Bo.
Yeah.
Do you?
I'm
Yeah,
feel
I
like there's-
agree.
Yep.
Okay. I want it to be Bo. I mean, I really like Bo. I like Din too.
Maybe
it could
they
be
share it.
Co
Maybe
Mandalore.
it's
Co-Mandalores.
Bo.
I would like that. Vice Mandalore.
What if it's
There you go.
Grogu?
No.
By a
Maybe
baby.
one day.
Yeah,
he's
probably.
he's the heir to the throne. No.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Like, I can see that if they go to kill the Mythosaur and defeat the Mythosaur, and Grogu kills it, and then everyone's just like stumped because everyone's like, we can't let a baby rule. Oh, we'll all rule together or something.
There
like,
you go.
Lame. I don't know.
Wow. I
There's
like
like
that.
that. It's like that one
Yeah,
Japanese emperor that put his like 5-year-old son in charge when he was like about to die. And he told all his advisors, he was like, "Take care of my son. He's the new king." And then he died, and all the guys looked at each other and they're like,
Matt, you're really
"No."
you're really referencing Japanese culture tonight between the theater and now that politics.
I
That was
just
gonna be a
can't
book
help
tonight.
it.
It's good.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about Japan a lot. I don't know why.
What do you guys? People always talk about Grogu being the Mandalorian of the show, and like people always, I want to see him get a helmet and armor, and I'm like,
No,
I don't want to see Grogu get a helmet. I like
I
the way
don't
he
wanna
looks.
I hate every rendition I've ever seen of it.
yeah, you can't make it
Uh,
work with the ears. You can't. I'm
No.
You first have to
sorry.
get him to speak before he can take the creed. So
Yeah.
And
have
hopefully
time.
by the time he takes the creed, they don't have the helmet rule anymore. See, that's why we have to get rid of the helmet rule.
Is he
guys.
still wearing that like Flavor Flav piece of armor on his
the
around his neck?
rondel, yeah, the rondel. He's got a mithril chainmail and the rondel, which is like that's the best you can come up with. Not
I
even
don't-
like something vaguely chest plate related. No, I'm just gonna use a little disc.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. That
I'm
is
just waiting
funny.
for one day he's walking along and it just falls out at the bottom of his robe. Because like it's not
gotta happen.
secured by anything, so it's just gonna be
Yeah,
like,
it's so true.
Or
I-
they're gonna put him in the living waters, and he's gonna sink like a stone, just like Din. He's just gonna go right down.
Like father, like son.
He's just gonna
That's
just
so good.
I wonder if he knows how to swim.
We are gonna definitely have a like Fellowship of the Ring, Frodo mithril scene, right? Where Grogu's gonna get shot,
yeah.
and then everyone's like, Grogu's dead, and then he like sits up and he like opens his jacket, and it's like he goes, oh my god, and because
And
of the
everyone
best guy he
cheers.
saves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we're gonna get that
definitely
back.
would count on that because like they literally had the scene with the darts already happened. So to show, hey, we did this with paint, we're gonna shoot this kid for real.
Please shoot the baby, guys. That's what we're asking.
Oh man,
Guys, shoot the
Lucasfilm,
baby.
if you're listening,
Lucasfilm, if you're listening, please shoot baby.
please
Yoda.
shoot the baby.
Shoot the baby.
oh
That's
my
like
So the pirates died.
pirates
God.
died.
Pirates died.
I'm devastated. I think we all know that by now.
First mate Smee.
Yeah, I guess
Although,
that kind of
Vane got away.
Vane abandoned the crew.
Yeah.
I love that.
Classic yellow-bellied pirate has to save his own skin. Gotta love it.
He's got out of
He's
there.
gonna go to
I love it.
Nymos and live like a king now. That's
There
what
you go.
that's what those pirates do.
He's gonna go and report to Hondo. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna be like, guess what happened?
Or
Gorian
Maz Kanata.
Shard is dead.
Oh my
I
god.
pledge my allegiance to you now, buddy. And Hondo's gonna be like, nice.
AJ, that was also a good point. That was a good
Maz
point,
Kanata?
Jamie. That was a good joke. I like it. But yeah, Maz Kanata, the pirate queen. Why didn't I think of that? Gorian Shard was the pirate king.
Could be.
He was?
Does that? Yeah.
Are they
he's the king of
married?
Pirates. Are they?
No,
Were
he's
they
just a
married?
pirate. I thought Gorian Shard was just a pirate.
I mean,
Jump scare.
she does have a thing for like big, hairy
That's true.
creatures.
That's
she does
true.
love Chewie.
Has she met my friend Zeb? It's looking fine.
Ah, here we go. There we go.
There he is.
Zeb's next.
That's it. That's
Ladies.
Zeb's taken by Callus. So.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
where's
yeah.
his
No, never
boyfriend?
mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's probably not a pilot, so he's probably
No.
not allowed on the pilot's bar.
I love how Zeb showed up, and there's just been a lot of criticism out there of just like, oh, he didn't retire. He's not on Lyrasan. This is like 10 years after. So like, well,
I thought
like,
they were going to put him
epilogue.
there because they didn't want to show him in live action.
Yeah,
now
like
that's gone out the window. So
he
they can do
visited
whatever they want with
Lyrasan,
him.
but like I would assume he's still like out and about doing his part. Like I think he would want to like still like be with like the crew, like as well, like be with Hera and Sabine as much as he could still. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he joined the New Republic stuff just to help out with Hera.
I can't speak from personal experience, but from my friends who have served and then like the transition back to civilian life, they've said that it's pretty difficult, and a lot of them miss the structure of the military life. So it's like I could see Zeb being one of those guys who's just like, listen, there was a structure to the Republic and like the rebellion and all that, and I kind of miss that, even if it's not perfect.
Yeah, Zeb was pretty structured in Rebels.
Well,
yeah, totally.
Zeb always had something though. He always
the
had
structure
something.
around him.
Those ears have structure.
Hera brought structure.
She did.
She does, yeah.
Because like before he was like with the Ghost Crew, like he was part of like the Lasat Honor Guard, and then he joined the Ghost Crew. So like he always had something going on like that, and so just going to chill with his Zebrock was not his like actual end all be all. So I also urge everyone to look up the Rebels piece of score. It's called Zebrock. It's
Zeb chose that music in that little bar earlier.
Oh, he
he
100%
put that on.
No, he had to.
That's
that was
style.
such a what a clever detail.
Imagine a Rangers of the High Republic
Rangers
comeback. Did I say High Republic?
You did.
You said High Republic.
Well, imagine that. But imagine Rangers of the New Republic if starring Carson Teva, Zeb, Callus, Cobb Vanth.
Wow.
I think that's kind of what it felt like. It's like, hey, come on.
Dude.
I mean, we still might do it. You never know. It's
and Dr. Pershing can be in there with his memory wipes.
There you go.
I don't know, but like that'd be such a fun show.
Who was that? And Kes Dameron. Why not throw him into the mix?
And Hera, throw everybody in.
Yeah. Throw Darth Vader in there. I don't know.
Luke
I
Skywalker.
definitely feel like that jumped. That's I definitely feel like they are testing the waters of like the reception of New Republic characters. I definitely feel like they're kind of like, yeah, like this. You guys like this?
Oh, yeah.
But I definitely think like after the slate of shows we have now, like Skeleton Crew, Ahsoka and Acolyte, I think surely a New Republic centric show, whether it's Rangers or titled as something else, is like next on the list. I definitely think that's where it's going.
Yeah, I hope so.
For like new
Me
content,
too.
Yeah.
I know they said they're mixing the plot lines they had for Rangers of the New Republic into Mando and Ahsoka, but there's always more, you know. So
more,
there's always more stuff to do with the New Republic. So go ahead, you know, make Rangers of the New Republic. I want it. Everybody wants it.
Very quickly to tie up this episode, chapter 21, we see Carson Teva, who we're talking about, find that Imperial shuttle in space. Very creepy scene, although I was kind of underwhelmed by it. I thought like something cooler was going to be in there, but I guess it's kind of a big deal, right? That we see like a trace of Beskar on the wall somehow.
Yeah.
Like, Jack, you're a Beskar specialist. How does that make sense?
First of all, thank you. Second of all, so there's a couple things it could be, right? Like, I mean, we know there are Mandalorians out there who are beholden to no one, are mercenaries, and will take any job. So they could have easily been hired to break Gideon out because only Mandalorians could be so efficient. At the same time, it also could be a pretty lazy plant because the Empire had Beskar and could have easily had more Beskar. And Gideon, of all people, would love to cause more trouble for the Mandalorians after the trouble they've caused him. So I just hope Carson doesn't take the bait because like it's obviously not the Children of the Watch. That could easily be other Mandos.
They don't even have a ship.
They don't have a ship.
How are they gonna get
We've been
there?
over this.
My guy, how do you think we do this? Just break it down for me. I don't understand.
I think that the biggest thing is the Children of the Watch go out of their way to say that they don't use Beskar weapons, and they melt down the weapons, but they use some of them for training, but they don't use the Beskar weapons like anymore. Because because they would use them against the Jedi, but there are no more Jedi, right?
We know someone that had a Beskar
except for
weapon.
the armor. He's totally cool to use it whenever she wants.
She uses it. But yeah, scroll back to last season, the Beskar spear, that magistrate, Elsbeth, Morgan Elsbeth, she had a spear.
What did they end up doing with her? Did they just leave her there? Ahsoka kicked her butt and then they left her there.
Yeah, Ahsoka kicked her butt and then left. I don't think she got the information.
Yep.
So,
oh yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I thought it would have been the Cosca Reeves and the other guy that
Axe
Wolves. Yeah. That because they left when Bo-Katan at the start of the season was like, oh yeah, they went off and they're like just around the galaxy now. I was like, that's a weird way to end those characters.
Yeah.
So maybe it could be them. Could be them wanting to find, they know Moff Gideon. They're like, well, Bo lost him, so we're gonna have to go find him. Maybe they're trying to track him down to find who has the Darksaber.
It's a good theory too.
I think they're just Imperial Mandalorians, like Gar Saxon. I just think they're Mandalorians with Imperial armor. That Gideon probably ruled over Mandalore at some point, right? He was probably the governor of Mandalore. I'm just assuming, but that seems to be his connection.
There. Yeah.
So I'm assuming he had some kind of Mandalorian force backing him.
I like this comment. The armor doesn't catch up.
Okay, so you're gonna be mad at her for being rigid, and then the second she shows any kind of flexibility, you're gonna call her a hypocrite. I mean, come on, where's the right answer?
I need her helmet to come off, and then I'll come around.
I thought she was going to.
I thought too. Yes,
I was like, on my seat.
I thought we were getting it
close.
I think we'll give it time. Like if she's even willing to try to meet with other Mandalorians in exile, regardless of whether or not they wear the helmet, because she's sending someone who walks both ways. I think there's a chance for flexibility down the line.
Yeah,
like maybe you're like an Orthodox versus like a reformed Mandalorian. I think that'd be a good thing for them. Like, hey, if you like the old ways, if you like the fundamentalist take, go for it. If that helps you be centered, great. But if you don't want to do that, you're still a Mandalorian. I don't know.
There you go.
I thought there was a little bit of tension, a little bit of romantic tension. Between Bo and Amara.
Bo's got tension with everybody, right? I mean,
she does.
She's
just a saucy lady. Yeah.
Those sparks in the minds of Mandalore.
With that creature she killed. Yeah.
Right?
The sparks were flying.
Oh Lord.
Wow, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know how it would work, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Unless the armor takes the helmet off.
Yeah, do they kiss with helmets on? Is that how it works?
That's what you gotta do.
They just
you just knock helmets together. You're like, you just headbutting.
Actually, knocking helmets sounds like
it already sounds like a euphemism.
Yeah,
you don't need to go very far.
I've had enough.
I did want to say quickly, it's hilarious. There's 3 episodes left, and we haven't even seen Moff Gideon.
Yeah, that's
I know. That's kind of how season 1 was, right? Like Gideon was not even all the seasons have come. He existed until the end of season 1.
Yeah, true.
We have more hints in season 2.
Anyway, awesome. So thank you, Hannah. Thank you so much for coming on our show tonight. Where can everybody find you on all of your adventures?
Yeah, you can have a good time with me and the live chat over on the Ray side, at the Ray side, IRAE side. We do a lot of random stuff there. I do gaming. We have a lot of we make stuff, we cook stuff, we eat stuff, Star Wars. It's really fun. And yeah, it's at the Ray side on Instagram and Twitter as well. But yeah, this has been a blast. Thanks so much for having me on, guys. It's been great banter. I can't believe, what was the weirdest thing we spoke about tonight?
We just talked about Mandalorians headbutting each other.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
You guys were talking about batteries while I walked away.
That's right.
We got all quiet, so I don't know.
We were joking about Cobb Vance needing a rechargeable lithium-ion battery.
Peak Star Wars.
Anyway, this has been the HoloNet Marauders podcast for The Mandalorian Chapter 21, The Pirate. If you've been watching tonight in the live with us and hanging out in the chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. If you've been listening to it, this is also available in a video version. If you've been watching the video, you can check this out on your mobile apps as well and all the audio versions as well. You can find us everywhere at HoloNet Marauders, and we'll see you guys next time on the HoloNet Marauders podcast.
Yeah.
Knocking helmets.
Yar.